problem number 22. In this particular case, you're trying to determine if you should extend credit. Extending credit can be problematic. You may have an increase in collection costs. You may have an increase in bad debt expense. You also have to realize your AR goes up. So that means that you have an investment in accounts receivable. If sales go up, you will typically have an investment in more inventory. So it's not a simple calculation of, oh, we're going to sell X number of dollars, we're going to make a profit on it of a certain percentage, and yeah, it's a good idea. So we're going to go through this analysis in problem 722. I'm going to do part A. I'll leave part B for yourselves because it's the same process, just a slightly different set of numbers. So in part A, it identifies that the sales are going to go up by $180,000. That's an annualized amount. The problem indicates that 12% are going to be uncollectible. So you're going to have a bad debt expense of 12%. So you're not going to get all of the 180,000. You're going to get 88% of it because some people will buy your product and not pay you for it. So your revenue will actually go up by $158,400, not the $180,000. You are also, because you're now going to have some accounts receivable that is harder to collect, you're going to spend more money trying to collect your money, sending out letters, threatening to sue people, perhaps even having to do that, repossess particular products or that you have provided to the customer. So your collection costs for this $180,000 are going to go up by $15,700 for the reasons that I just mentioned. Unfortunately, every dollar of sales is not a dollar of profit. Your production and selling costs, in other words, your cost of goods sold, is 70% of the new sales. So you have $126,000 in cost of goods sold. So your annual income before taxes is $16,700. You need to make sure that you're getting a satisfactory return on your money. So you can see just below the $16,700, you find out that your increase in accounts receivable is $36,000. We would have done this in chapter number 3. So using the same formula to find out how much your AR balance is. So you have an increase in a current asset, specifically AR, of $36,000. So that is an investment. And you're going to get a return of $16,700, which turns out to be 46.4%, which is much greater than the 15% required rate of return. So it's a good idea. Now in part B, which I'll let you do on your own, you can see that there's some differences, especially if the bad debt expense goes from 12% to 15%. And in part C, if the receivables turnover changes, that means you're going to have a higher accounts receivable, and you can see that means you're going to have to invest $120,000 in part C rather than $36,000. You divide the information from part A and you wind up only with 13.92%, which is below your target of 15%. So it's a bad idea.